way fewer home sales in November, even with more inventory in Miami. Hey, Sharon Colón, your favorite Miami real estate agent here. Yes, the new data just got released. There's so much to talk about in this video. We're seeing a lot of numbers falling in Miami. Plus, there are new studies and articles out there talking about people seeing a market crash coming very soon. I will talk about this in a bit, but first, I would like to know from you if you agree with what I just said. Is a crash coming very soon? What are your thoughts about this? Comment below. I would like to hear from you. Okay, so let's get into it. So even though 2022 total home sales in Miami-Dade, it's on pace to be the second best year ever, we're seeing a more obvious shift in market. For example, total home sales in Miami decreased 40.7% year over year. This is our biggest drop in total home sales in Miami this year. And you know, probably in recent years, I will definitely dig more into this decrease since I was looking super quickly at the last 1 or 2 years data comparing. And it looks like it is the biggest drop in recent years. So stay tuned for that. This huge drop could be surprising since mortgage rates have been, continuing their downward. But of course, at the same time, we need to think that mortgage rates have been higher this year than last year, which is a real fact. Talking about mortgage rates, let me show you some rate projections from different experts in the field. As you can see here, the average projection for next year between quarters is in the 6%, and my best recommendation in here is to not look just only at a specific number but to the stability that is showing, which of course will bring certainty back in, right? And of course buyers back. Now the chief financial analyst from Bankrate says mortgage rates could pull back meaningfully next year if inflation pressures ease. I will come back to this point in a bit, but let me move forward with Miami data. When we talk about single-family homes and condo sales, we know it decreased, right? But if we split this in November, like single-family homes decreased 38.5% and 42.1% for condos. Huge decreases in total, and this is also reflected nationally. Total home sales forecast is 5.8 million this year, and as you can see, we have not seen these numbers since 2015 or so. And the projection for next year is that experts are saying about 5.1 million home sales. However, this prediction will be adjusted after we go into the year. Now, my guess is that it will probably be higher than that. Moving on to the inventory, which is very interesting too. We are still in a seller's market. Inventory of single-family homes increased 52.9% year over year in November, putting single-family homes at 4 months of supply of inventory. That is a 90% increase, or 1.9 more of months supply. However, for the condo inventory decreased 4% year over year and also had 4 months of supply of inventory. We can keep saying that there's a lack of inventory for now, but the reality is this will change soon. As far as the median price decreased 4.3% month over month to $550,000 for single-family homes and increased 1.8% from the previous month to $395,000 for condo and townhomes. Now, let's talk for a moment about prices right here. William Durner, economist in FHFA's Division of Research and Statistics, said the rate of U.S. house price growth has substantially decelerated. This deceleration is widespread, with about 1/3 of all states and metropolitan statistical areas registering annual growth below 10%. And the chief economist of First American, Mark Fleming, recently said house price appreciation has slowed in all 50 markets we track, which I agree with this part. We are indeed seeing the slowdown, but the deceleration is generally more dramatic in areas that experienced the strongest peak appreciation rates. We have not seen this just yet. Do you think the price or the deceleration will be dramatic in Miami? I mean, what do you think? Comment below. Here is some data from the latest release data on home price movement. Miami is showing a negative 1% change, and this is very proportional to inflation, right? As Craig Lazar says, as the Federal Reserve continues to move interest rates higher, mortgage financing continues to be more expensive and housing becomes less affordable. However, if we talk about X amount of percentage drop, in this graph we can have an idea of numbers nationally. But in Miami, a 5% depreciation will put us back to January 2022. A 10% will put us back to October 2021. 15% to January 2021. So it's a little similar to this graph. However, I have not heard any real expert on the field calling for those percentages, but this could give you some perspective on our home price appreciation. In fact, the latest home price forecast for 2023 is this one, which pretty much experts predict an almost flat home price appreciation. I will keep you updated as they keep updating this, but so far, this is their latest forecast. Now, here's the last graph about home price appreciation that could give you more perspective, especially for those of you who have had purchases during these times. Here is this home appreciation pre and post times table with very interesting data. So Miami between 2017 to 2020 had a 10% home appreciation, and between 2020 to 2022, 61% appreciation. It's good to know and to have this information fresh, right? Now let's see how long the properties are taking to get under contract. In the latest data from November, houses are taking 31 days to go under contract, which is a 55% increase from the last year and an increase from the last few months too, meaning they are taking longer. Now, condos and townhomes are taking 35 days, also taking longer to sell. It has been on that trend for the last few months also. Yet, the Miami market is different from many US markets. There are people thinking that it is going to crash. So let's talk about a new survey from the Lending Tree Consumer that says that 41% of Americans believe that the housing market will crash in the next 12 months. 72% of people think it will be as bad or worse as the 2008 housing market collapse. And 58% of people expect the market crashing and postponing their housing related plans. And titles like these are contributing to the fear of course. So far, I have to say that the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beach metro areas as of October 2022 are one of the strongest job markets in the country, with only a 2.3% of unemployment rate when compared to the 3.7% nationally. I am bringing this up because this is one of many factors to consider with these fears. Also, when we talk about foreclosures and short sale, only 1.7% of all closed residential sales in Miami were distressed last month, including foreclosures and short sales, compared to 0.8% in November 2021. In 2009, distressed sales comprised 70% of Miami sales, nowhere near what we were. Additionally, two forward-looking national data points have turned positive in recent weeks, a strong sign as we head into 2023. National mortgage purchase applications have hit 7 straight weeks of positive trend data, and the HMI Builders Confidence Index went positive on December 19th. Other factor to consider is homeownership equity, which a recent analysis by Adam Data found 48.5% of mortgage residential properties nationally were considered equity rich in the third quarter, and in their analysis of 30 equity-rich housing market is South Florida, the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and West Palm Beach areas, with 63.6% in equity, with 0.9% in serious problems. We just talked about this a few seconds ago. So, how do you think we are going to end this year? Will we go to see a decrease in price again? What are your thoughts? Sharon Colón, your favorite Miami realtor. So tell me, what do you think is going to happen in 2023? No. Remember to be nice and be kind. See you next time. Bye-bye.